You're listening to the Future of Convenience podcast, featuring senior retail executives and experts in the global convenience and mobility industry.
Welcome to the Future of Convenience podcast. I'm Carolyn Schnare, and today we're recording at the world-famous NACS Show, and I'm surrounded by experts in all things convenience. And on this episode, we're going to talk about this amazing event, but especially Foodvenience. And Foodvenience is probably the hottest topic I've seen and heard about here at this epic event, and I'm excited to talk with a couple of industry icons in that area.
Before we get started, here's a quick word from our sponsor.
Oh, not again. This fridge keeps breaking down. The ingredients are warm, and now we've got waste. Again!
Yeah, and we're slowing down because we're constantly running to the walk-in to grab fresh stock.
Sounds like you need Adande drawers.
Adande?
Yeah, they keep food at the perfect temperature, even with constant openings. No more food waste, no more frequent breakdowns, and they save on energy too.
So we save time, energy, costs and food waste, as well as an overall smoother service. Sounds perfect.
Tired of unreliable refrigeration? Upgrade to Adande, because your convenience store deserves better. Adande, refrigeration perfected.
So I'm here at the NACS Show in Chicago, and I'm sitting next to my colleague and good friend, Nick Scherzer.
Hey Carolyn, how are you?
I'm doing great. It's nice to sit next to you.
Finally, we normally do these virtually, so it's good to be in person for a change.
Right, we have shoes and legs and everything.
Exactly.
This is so much fun, and we get to just high five whenever we want to. So, Nick, we're at the height of, and arguably the largest competition we right now have, which is a topic that we're going to talk about here, which is Foodvenience. And we do have a competition going on a little bit. We're talking Foodvenience and the best Foodvenience store in the world. Can you tell us just a little bit about that before we jump in today?
Yeah, so the best Foodvenience store in the world competition really is about three things. It's about celebrating innovation and excellence in convenience retail. It's about providing the industry with a global showcase of what's happening around the world in food service and convenience retail. And I think for me, most importantly, it's also about recognizing the people who run and operate these stores on a daily basis and all of the people and the teams behind them who support it. And I think, you know, judging by the industry's reaction and the feedback we get, we hit a lot of those objectives. And
so while we're talking about this competition, we have some great guests. We're going to keep talking about what's happening here at the NACS Show, the food stuff that we've seen. So let me first introduce them. First, we have Jac Moskalik, who is the head of food innovation and strategy with Global Partners, and whose brand portfolio includes All Town Fresh, Honey Farms. I'll let you talk all about those in a minute or two, but thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And we also have Karl Hodgson back on, who we've had before, who is the managing director with Adande Refrigeration, frequent guest. Welcome back.
Thank you very much, Carolyn. Nice to be here.
So let's start with you, Jac. Tell us a little bit about yourself and Global Partners.
Sure. About myself, just slightly. Over 25 years of experience, which I have a hard time saying out loud. My background is split up amongst retail, distribution, and supply chain. So I've been at Global for a couple of years. We have about 350 corporately ran stores. We're primarily located in the Northeast. We have stores in Houston, though, as well as Virginia. And we're pretty excited. We have two banners that we're most excited about, which is, of course, All Town Fresh, and then our newest concept, which is Honey Farms Market.
Very cool.
Yeah, thank you.
We've been to a few of those. Actually, I've been to both of those at certain times over my life, but I haven't been to Honey Farms, so we'll talk about that one in a little bit, since it's been your new concept
yes,
here.
We're super excited about it.
So Karl, real quick, tell us a little bit about Adande Refrigeration too. What do you do there?
Adande Refrigeration, we design and manufacture the world's best refrigerator drawer systems that help food service and the convenience store operators get the best within the footprint of their design in their convenience stores. So I've been in the food service industry now for pretty much 30 years, so I help operators and chefs across the US, Europe, and the UK design and implement the store implementations.
last year, Karl joined us in Pennsylvania when we did store tours. And one of the fun things about that was, as we went through the different stores, Karl would take me into the kitchens. And it's interesting to get different perspectives from people who are in different parts of the industry. And we went into the kitchens of Sheets, and there were Adande refrigerated drawers with the logo on them. And I introduced Karl to the store team there, and they were just so excited that the managing director of Adande had come to their store. But the best thing about it was to hear from them how much they appreciated the equipment. Because I think, you know, that's where the rubber hits the road, right? When the store teams are telling you this is really cool and it works for us. So it was a fun moment, and it's always fun to be out in the field visiting stores.
Right.
So Nick, real quick, just before we got when we were just getting started, you were talking about the competition, the best Foodvenience store in the world, and that's running now. And we were having a cool conversation about it right before you and Jack were.
Yeah, we were just talking about how I think it gives an opportunity for the participating retailers to really recognize their teams and the innovation in food service by showcasing what they're doing on a global stage. And it gives those participating companies, as well as the whole industry, a real perspective of the advancements in food service within the industry and how far we've really come. When you think back decades and decades what a gas station represented, and you look at the entries now, and I think that's probably, for me, the most fun part of it. And I think you were saying something about that, Jack.
Oh gosh, absolutely. We've been following the whole Foodvenience experience through posts on LinkedIn or other channels, and it's so much fun to see the innovation around the world in convenience, because it just solidifies the fact that food service can be the differentiator.
Yeah.
And my favorite part about Foodvenience, like you said, is highlighting the employees that actually execute the program, because that's where the magic happens, and it's just been awesome to watch.
We've had your colleague Jason Lord on our podcast in the past too, where he talked about some of the great All Town Fresh and all those brands. Now, I think that, like you said, you're learning from other people. You're learning, and that's what we hear at the NACS Show, see and hear, and innovation and everything. And food is everywhere. I've sampled everything today. I'm sure all of us have. But Jack, what are some things that you've noticed out about the floor? Maybe it's the education sessions, if you've been to any of those kind of things. Like, what are you learning? Like, what's new? What's hot? What are you hearing?
I think what I've noticed about NACS this year, which is somewhat different, I skipped a year, so that was helpful, is the innovation around providing theater within a convenience store.
Oh, yeah.
It's more component-based, it's more clean label, it's more storytelling and intentional in convenience where it wasn't necessarily before. And they think about how to sell food in a convenient manner, which is a really hard step for convenience stores, is that perception to get them in the door. But they think through the entire process, from offering to the equipment that they use, and there's nothing but solutions on the sales floor this year, which I think is pretty phenomenal.
And I think that point about intentionality is so important, because that's something we've seen over the years, is how much more intense convenience retailers are bringing to food service programs, and the professionalization of the standards within kitchens, and the whole program from the foundation up. And I think with most things in life, it's about the foundation and getting that right. And so, the right people in your food program with the right qualifications, chefs and people with food service backgrounds, and then setting up those kitchens with the right equipment, the right processes, the menu choices, all of that. And I think, Karl, you've probably seen a lot of that on your travels around the US.
I've seen a lot of it around the travels in the US. I think what strikes me more as the years have gone by, it's virtually the approach to a convenience store. If you read that, 90% of people, if you get the approach correct, as in the lighting, it attracts people.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you walk through that door, you've got to have clean, concise aisles with plenty of focus on what options are there for the customer. So that's a lot of signage. And also what's more driving it more is the technology and AI and automotive things within the stores.
Yeah.
You'll also find a lot of now people are now starting to obviously use the digitalization to place orders, which drives it through to the kitchen a lot quicker. It drives through the kitchen a lot quicker, they're going to get served a lot quicker.
Yeah.
So you'll see that more and more now. The old time where the gas station where you used to queue up is non-relevant.
Yeah. It's about convenience and speed of service, right?
But the convenience store, what I like about convenience store concept compared to a QSR concept is when in a QSR concept, whether it's one of the major brands, is when you get to the queue, it's all congested. In a convenience store, it's not. It looks larger
and open,
and you don't feel. It feels a lot more open, and it's more inviting.
Yeah.
And that from start to pulling up to the end to processing, getting your food, it's just as quick, but the experience is a lot more better.
Yeah, and that experience point is so key, because it's about the visual cues that tell the customer this place
100%.
is all about food.
Yeah.
You can trust us. We know what we're doing, and it's kind of getting over there. Well, we used to talk about the fuel penalty of trying to sell food at a gas station is getting over that barrier. But Jack, you were talking about honey farms. Yeah, tell us a bit about that, because we're super excited to hear about that concept.
So we have 4 stores that we've rebranded, and the concept's called Honey Farms Market. We're obsessed over our largest concept because it has our new food offering in it. And when we approached the menu, it was kind of, how do you tell a story through food? How do you encourage younger generations to embrace omni-channel, come into the stores? And they're the ones who are willing to experiment and try new stuff.
Right.
So through our research, we decided that we were going to go for neo-nostalgia.
Okay.
And so we did like a fun melts program, and it's so customizable. It's your way with unexpected twists, a ton of local ingredients. And then the store itself honestly supports, we have 4 pillars in our retail, and it's local, hospitality, community, and fresh.
Right.
And
That's
so we apply
very
those.
cool. I like that.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, we love them. It's a guiding principle, right? It
Yeah.
keeps you within the brand. And so we use it for Alltown Fresh, we use it for Honey Farms Market, and our other stores as well. But just different approaches, right?
Yeah.
And so in Honey Farms Market, it's lots of unexpected, it's grocery products, so it's more of a fill-in shop type environment. And then we have an entire wall dedicated to local, and there's just a ton of theater in the store, but we have made to order, we've got amazing grab and go, expanded refrigerated snacking. It's really fun.
So that I actually know where those stores are. So my family's up that way, and these are they are neighborhoods. They're like
Yes.
in the middle of like a town where there's
Yes.
not anything else
Exactly.
really in some of these areas. I think Charlton
Right.
is that one of them.
Yes.
So like that one, there's nothing. I don't know where the nearest grocery store is. So you've got a really cool neighborhood group already there, but now you got to tell them who you are, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Has that been exciting?
It's been extremely exciting, and it's super fun to see the consumer insights once you launch it. Like what their perception was before the store was rebranded versus after.
Right.
It's pretty cool. And then, we definitely captured their attention, and it's been really fun to watch the numbers change.
Do you find because locally sourced as well and it's fresher, people tend to drive more towards you to get that?
Yes. So I would say it's local products, and it's like the stories of the brands that they know. And then we'll drive the extra mile to go to
Correct,
your
yeah.
store, because if you have something that's craveable that they can be emotionally attached to, they're in.
Yeah.
It's about that human connection
It
and
is.
connecting with the community.
It is, absolutely.
And I think this morning in the general session, Henry Armour and Frank Gleason were talking about that. And they were just saying, like, for our industry in particular, like, yes, you can put technology into the stores, and the technology is an important part of the evolution. But the one high ground the convenience industry has is that personal connection with the community. And so you've got to carefully balance how you use technology, but don't lose the high ground that we have in terms of connecting with the people who come to your stores daily, really.
Right. No,
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. It's making a human connection first, and then layering on convenience through technology.
Yeah. And the technology enables the speed and the processes
Sure,
and all
sure.
of those kind of things. Yeah.
Well, I like the theater experience too. The theater
Yes.
/ and experience that you
Yes.
mentioned as one of your building.
So our kitchens are customer facing. You can watch them make your sandwich. You see all the products. And it's just more inviting that way,
Perfect.
I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in terms of, let me kind of turn this around to another way, in terms of operation.
Yes.
So are there anything on the operation that you're focusing on across all the brands, if you want to pick like one? Is there something that you find, since you're a little newer to this company,
Sure.
that you're really working on to try to really either streamline or anything that's helping?
So when it comes to convincing consumers to trust food from a convenience store, you have to think through the quality of the food, but you also have to think through the consistent customer experience when
Right,
they're in
yeah,
the store
yeah.
every time, because the convenience consumer is so habitual.
Right.
They're going to expect the same thing every time. And then on top of that, there's the labor complexity of anybody who's in retail right now. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a hard market, right? Especially in food service. Food's not for the faint of heart. So I would say once I joined Global, you start evaluating, like, as nerdy as labor studies are and standards, you have to understand how much time and what it costs to make something. And if you want to invest it, is that something that you feel is a golden standard for the consumer experience, or do they not know that we even do this?
Yeah.
And so you have to start prioritizing from a labor or operational efficiency perspective what customers care about. And so we've been really honing in on consumer insights, like what makes them feel special at Alltown Fresh or Honey Farms Market. What is it? Is it guest experience when you walk up to the counter? Is it they want to see the products made live the store? Is it the scratch kitchens, et cetera? And so we've been using and leveraging those consumer insights to start making menu changes in the ways we talk to the customers about what we do as well.
Right.
Because when you have a high labor model, you have to demand a higher retail for your products, but it's got to be an amazing offering that the customer is willing to pay for. But that comes with messaging, and then obviously from an operational perspective, a consistent, experience.
And that consistency piece is so important because,
Yes.
like you say, people keep coming back, and if that
Consistency is key.
It is.
It's
It really
the
is.
foundation.
That's
really.
consistency and fresh.
Yeah,
For me.
Yeah, quality ingredients, the whole process.
And speed of service.
Speed of
Yes,
service,
speed
all
of
of those
service.
things that deliver that consistency. And this is where I think, going back to that point about how far the convenience industry has come and developed in food service, really taking on QSRs.
Yes.
But the QSR's high ground was always consistency.
Yep.
Like those guys are the
Yep.
kings of consistency, and if we get that part right in our industry, and then you layer on the personal connection, the community piece, the environment, the breadth of offer from your food service, it just takes, the convenience industry goes to another level in terms of food service. And I think that's what we're seeing globally around the world with the Foodvenience program. And, Karl, you and I have spoken about it, because you guys work a lot with Michelin star restaurants and QSR operators. And so you see a wide spectrum of food service operations.
There's a wide specification that they have, and our drawers define that within the template of the kitchen. So depending what they want to use it for.
Yeah.
But going back on what Jack was saying, consistency is definitely number one, but it's also to do with the freshness, as we've said. But once again, most customers will come back time and time again if you get those right. But speed for me, is another thing that's very vital. Breakfast, I believe, is number one in the mornings in the convenience side.
Yes.
Then
Right.
it goes to the lunchtime, then the evening. But then on weekends, it flips where it's more the evenings, Saturday and Sunday. So those times, you've got a short window to get it right. Those 2 or 3 hours, it's speed, it's efficiency. Everything we've just discussed, you've got to get that right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I want to flip back to food again, back to actual food. So we're seeing a lot of cool things around here in terms of flavors. That's something I always love to talk about. What's the hottest new flavor? And hot, I think, is from the spicy kind, is what I'm seeing a lot of. But I wanted to get your guys' perspective based on what you're seeing here, but also what you're hearing. And what are some of the cool, I shouldn't say coolest, the hottest trends that you're seeing out there that you're trying to integrate into your menus?
Sure.
Jac?
So obviously spicy is definitely trending. We kind of go at the macro level, more of nostalgic type foods that actually feel like home to our customers when they're in our stores. But I would say for that to happen, we have all types of ethnicities that shop in our stores, which is the most fun thing about food, because food is so common amongst all of us. So I would say it's the ethnic infusions into the convenience. It's no longer just roller grills. You might have a butter chicken dish now, or a tandoori wrap, or something like that, which is completely unexpected. And the consumers are way more open to trying those types of products now in convenience stores. And I think it's because of the evolution of food service and convenience.
For sure.
Yeah.
What about you, Karl?
Yeah, so for me, I think the main trend is hot honey, believe it or not, Mediterranean, Korean barbecue is another big one. But also what's driving it more from the convenience side is it's handheld. So it's convenient and portable handheld.
So not
it's
full
quicker.
of sauce and you're wearing
Correct,
it while you're driving.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So those are things that it's driving.
Eatability is what you're looking for.
Karl, I think you are exactly spot on. And back to the thing, obviously you can't keep wearing your food after the moment that you eat it. So it has to fit in a cup holder. It has to fit in here and stay in most of the plate that you're eating it on, or the container that you're eating on. So I think that, here at the NACS Show, my take on it, I've had so far today, I was over at a Core-Mark booth, which is where I used to work. I had butter chicken, I think.
Yep.
I had a
that
Mediterranean
too.
thing
That's
with
great.
couscous. I'm like, this is not gas station food. This is where I want to eat. So closing it all up, I think that it's been fantastic hearing from you and learning some insights from you. Get on the website. You can check out the videos because, like Jack said, they're a learning experience. You can actually see what's happening around the world without having to get on an airplane.
And for 2026, we're super excited to see Honey Farms Market in the best Foodvenience store in the world. We'd love to showcase that to the rest of the world and what you guys are doing there.
That would be amazing.
Cool.
We would look so much forward to that.
Who's it on the M6 in the UK again? The one at the top near Penrith. What are they called?
Westmoreland?
Yeah, Westmoreland.
Yeah.
That's all fresh.
Yeah.
I mean, that's number one in the UK, right?
Yeah.
Everything's local, everything's fresh.
See,
Yeah.
And
It
they
resonates.
do.
It resonates.
People travel
It
there
does.
Yeah.
just to get there.
It
But
becomes a
miles.
destination.
It's
right?
destination. They
Yeah.
spend hours
Yes.
and hours there.
yes,
It's like amazing. So you're on the right track, 100%.
thank you.
Well, I look forward to seeing that as well. So thank you so much for taking time
Thank
out of
you.
your busy NACS show, and thanks
you
for
very
being
much.
on.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for listening to the Future of Convenience podcast.
Thank you for listening to the Future of Convenience podcast, produced by Dan Munford, Nick Scherzer, Jenna Ferguson, and Lorraine Evans. It is produced and edited and mixed by Carolyn Schnare, and music is provided by Jukebox Music. Learn more at globalconvenience.com.